Fresh off the broadcast, Joe Buck, the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman join me now. And gentlemen, this really boils down to sports at its most basic, doesn't it? At the end of a dramatic game, you find yourself wondering, did they make the right call? This is a team who ran for 227 yards, and on 4th and 1, they throw it to a man who hadn't touched it all night. And unfortunately for the Colts, he couldn't squeeze it. I'm interested in both your reaction on it. Joe, I'll start with you. What'd you think?
Well, I mean, you can quarrel with it, but he was wide open and would have picked up the first down if they end up connecting on that pass. The throw a little behind. Goodson didn't make the grab. So, yeah, I mean, that's just sports. And, you could make the other side of the argument and say, well, they've been running it down the field. They got the ground game going. They were well over 200 yards, and Taylor's been, plowing over guys. But the play was there, and they just didn't connect. And that's the way sports goes. And, in this case, it was a heck of a game. As Troy said at the beginning, it's too bad one of these teams had to walk out of here losing and out of the playoffs, but they put on quite a show here tonight.
Yeah, and Scott, I think you look at it and say, did they go outside of what they're about? And because when they've been in that situation, as I said, that they've thrown the ball in that situation the second most in the NFL. So it's true to what they are and what they've been, and it got them to this point. And when it doesn't work, there's no question that the play caller, Shane Steichen in this case, you question it. Whenever it doesn't work, you say, well, maybe I should have done this. And then those players, of course, Goodson and then Minshew, they'll be talking about it as well. But it's easy to go back and second guess. That's what we all do. But I didn't have an issue so much with the call. They just didn't get it executed. Exactly.
I mean, it certainly invites scrutiny, Joe. And Troy, as you point out, when it doesn't work, but it was there. Even if he'd have fallen down, they'd have had a first down around a minute left. That's not what happened. The Texans get the victory. And Troy, we spoke all pregame long about C.J. Stroud and just how much he has impressed leading up to this night. But this is a win and you're in scenario on the road. That drive that gave them the lead, he's 7 for 7. I mean, some jaw-dropping throws. I ask you as a Hall of Fame quarterback, what most impressed you?
His poise is what has impressed me throughout the year. We were getting ready for a Jacksonville game weeks ago, and they had just come off of a win against the Houston Texans, and I found myself, when I was watching Jacksonville's defense, mesmerized by this rookie who I hadn't yet seen play this year, C.J. Stroud. He was phenomenal in that loss. But when you go back and you study him coming into this game, he's done what he did tonight really throughout the year. And it's uncommon to see a rookie do what he's been able to do. And he's played in big games, of course. When you play at Ohio State, you're used to the atmosphere and you're used to going up against great opponents. But you don't know how that's going to look when you get to this stage on this platform, and yet he showed the same kind of poise, never appeared rattled, starting with the first play of the game, and he's been phenomenal. He's 20 of 26. But with all that said, what impressed me the most, he never put the ball in harm's way, did not have an interception, and that's the key. That'll be the key next week when they go into the wild card round. So I'm a fan of what he's been able to do. I will also point out Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator, he deserves a tip to the hat as well for the way that his young rookie quarterback has played this year.
Joe, I want to close with this, man. A real quick thought. Maybe it's loser talk, but I don't see how you could view this season, no matter what happens next week for Houston, as being a massive win. They've been a punchline. They're in the playoffs. Win, lose, or draw next week, it's got to be seen as a gigantic arrow next to their name up, right?
Absolutely, and it's been almost a total house cleaning, which you hate to say when you're talking about people, but that's what it's been, at least as far as administratively, for Nick Caserio, the general manager. He's in his third year. Only 7 guys are left on their roster from when he took over, and they've got so much young talent. They had a good draft last year. They had an unbelievable draft this year. And it's cool to see that the right people were picked really on both sides, and both teams come out of this game knowing that they have their quarterback of the future. We have to wait for Anthony Richardson. He'll be coming off an injury and shoulder surgery, but 2 young stars and 2 players that these 2 fan bases are going to watch for a long time.
Scott, let me also just add that you've got a first-time head coach. You've got a first-time play caller. And you've got a rookie quarterback. This isn't supposed to happen. It's better than what we can even put into words, what DeMeco Ryans and this Texans organization has accomplished so far.
Rex Ryan made that point on Countdown. He said, I was a rookie coach. I had a rookie quarterback. It's hard to do. And
I had a rookie head coach in Jimmy Johnson and a rookie play caller and a rookie quarterback in myself, and we won one game.
Yeah.
So I know how hard it can be.
Yeah, but then you guys started having parades, so maybe this is the start of that for Houston.
True.
This was a hell of a start for essentially our playoffs. Look forward to seeing them next week. Joe and Troy, thank you so much. As we say so long to them, a look at that rookie coach and that rookie quarterback.